The Edge by Roland Smith. Chapter 10, Part 3, Peace. 15 minutes later, the others began arriving in twos and threes. Alessia and Raffi were first, which meant that Raffi waited for her, or that Alessia caught up with him. "Zopa!" Alessia ran over and plopped down next to him. "We were worried about you." Raffi acknowledged Zopa with a frown. Apparently he was jealous of anyone sitting next to Alessia, even old missing Buddhist monks. He looked at the cliff. "Easy climb. As soon as I get a drink of water, I'll show you how to put up your portaledge, Alessia. I've done it dozens of times." "No need," Zopa said. "We won't be using them." "Not according to Philip, mate." "He will change his mind." "In your dreams. Philip's calling the shots. It's his show. He's the director." The director arrived at the spring next, with Aki and Homa, with the film crew and Mom right behind them. "Nice of you to join us, Zopa," Philip said. The truth was that we were joining Zopa, but I didn't say anything. Zopa was more than capable of defending himself, or in this case, not defending himself, because he didn't respond to Philip's jab. Philip looked up at the cliff face, then back at the group. "We'll take a 15-minute breather here, then hike along the base until we find the right spot. We're going to have to pick up our pace if we expect to have everyone in place by nightfall. You've no doubt heard what I'm going for by now. 5 portaledges in an inverted V, 2 climbers on the right, 2 on the left." "In other words, a mountain," Raffi said. "Duh, Raffi." "I guess," Philip said. "Who's going to be on top of the mountain?" Raffi asked, nullifying the whole idiotic inverted V thing, which I'm sure Philip had insisted the film crew use if they had to describe the shot to us. I was kind of glad Raffi had outed Philip on this dumb description. "It's no big deal who's on top," Philip said. "Cool," Raffi said. "In that case, I volunteer." Philip shot him a smile, which we had all learned was probably not a good sign. "It isn't as simple as that. I've got to think about the whole segment and how everything will flow. I've already decided the positions." "Okay. Who's in the top spot?" Raffi was not going to let this go, and it wasn't going to go his way, or Philip would have told them that he was on top. I wondered if he would stick to Alessia like glue when Philip announced that she was on top. Philip gave him a resigned sigh. "All right. Bottom right, Homa. Bottom left, Aki. Second right, Alessia. Second left, Raffi." And that left Peak on the peak, which I couldn't have cared less about. I'm fine with Raffi taking the top. "That's not up to you," Philip said. "Red is on top." "Red?" Then I remembered that my portaledge was red. So was my tent and pack and almost everything else inside the pack. Plank, or maybe Philip, had color-coded us. Alessia was the green climber, Raffi yellow, Aki blue, Homa orange. "Seems to me you would want the best climber of the bunch on top," Raffi said. Mom rolled her eyes. "It's just a set shot. No one is going to be up for an Academy Award." "Oh, here we go." But Zopa put a stop to it. "We will not need the portaledges." "Of course we're using the portaledges," Philip insisted. "That's why I had Plank provide them. I have the letters P-E-A-C-E to attach to them." Zopa pointed up at the cliff. Everyone looked up, but like I had at first, no one appeared to see the anchors. "We're not climbing here," Philip says. "We'll scout the cliff for the perfect spot. I knew it would take a while. That's why I wanted to leave base camp early." "Anchors," Zopa said. Everyone looked again. Mom spotted them first. She started pointing. "There! And there! And there!" Everyone looked at Zopa. "You set anchors in the darkness?" Alessia asked. Zopa shrugged. He couldn't have possibly set that many anchors on a rotten cliff face after sunrise. Even Raffi looked impressed, but not Philip. He was frowning. He wasn't a climber. He had no idea how difficult and dangerous this had been. "Waste of anchors and time," he said. "If you find a better place, I will retrieve the anchors and meet you there, Zopa said. But this is the best place, as you will discover. I hadn't noticed, but Alessia had taken off her boots and was soaking her feet. Raffi was staring at her feet. Philip shaded his eyes and stared up at the cliff in silence for a few moments, then looked at J.R. What do you think? It's close to where we tried to climb yesterday and nearly killed ourselves. I'd hang on any anchor Zopa set, and to be honest, the entire cliff face looks pretty much the same to me. I don't think it matters where we climb. If we use his anchors, it will save a ton of time, and it'll be safe. Philip turned back to Zopa. What do you mean we don't need portaledges? You can use the tents inside the caves. Your peace letters will fit on the tents? I suppose. Zopa pointed at the wall. The angle of the sun caused the anchors to shine like little mirrors. Find the middle anchors. Above them is an eagle's nest. See the sticks in the opening of the cave? Philip shook his head. Wait. 10 seconds later, maybe 12, a huge eagle swooped in and landed on the edge of one of the caves. 25 feet down from the eagle cave is another cave. Zopa continued without giving anyone an opportunity to ask him how he knew the eagle was going to return to its nest at that exact moment. So? Philip said. That is the top of your mountain. There are 2 more caves below, on either side. A perfect day. Or mountain. Zopa looked at me and smiled. Or Christmas tree. Set your tents in them. Plenty of room. It is more interesting if your climbers are camped in caves than hanging on a wall. More natural. I think Plank missed the boat with the peace climb. A better topic for a documentary would be Zopa. Philip stared back up at the cliff as if he was considering Zopa's brilliant plan. Alessia's bare foot touched my bare foot. I was surprised I could feel it, because my feet were numbed by the cold water. Okay, Philip finally announced. We'll use the caves. Alessia's bare foot was still touching my bare foot. Philip and the film crew headed out to scout the shots. Raffi lumbered over to us and sat down on the other side of Alessia. He took off his size 13 hiking boots, then peeled off white socks as big as grocery sacks and put his feet into the water. Tepid, he said. I thought it would be cold. I'm not drinking the water. Alessia's bare foot is still touching my bare foot.